Yeah, good morning to you, Anthony. An absolutely devastating scene in the Bahamas. We are talking about communities that have been completely leveled, where almost every single structure is gone. There are 13,000 homes estimated to be severely damaged or destroyed at a minimum. That's just the initial estimate. The full assessment is only now starting to take place. And of course, there are fears about the injured and the missing as well. That toll continues to climb. It seems as though numbers are only going to get more grim there. Right now, the United Nations estimates that 60,000 people need immediate food and water on those two islands that were completely wiped off the map. There were satellite images released yesterday that show just a tremendous amount of water, how much water moved onto the land, eating away at this tiny island nation. And so certainly a lot of fears that none of the news coming out of the Bahamas is going to be good for the next few days here, Anthony.
That's incredibly sad. So talk about where you are right now and talk about the preparations underway. Also, talking about the storm itself, is it expected to hit where you are?
Yeah, so here in Daytona Beach, the storm is about 120 kilometers out to sea, out in that direction, actually. The center of it is anyway, but the wind field extends far beyond that. So what we're seeing here on shore, of course, very rough seas, a storm surge that will start to move in later this afternoon as sort of the peak of this starts to arrive. And we're in between at the moment these bands of very heavy showers that come through, but already overnight, peak wind gusts here were reported at about 120 kilometers per hour. So this is really the day in which people are going to hunker down, ride this thing out. It seems as though the coast of Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas will be largely lucky, though. They're not expecting the worst of the impacts. Certainly nothing as bad as was originally forecast. Still, though, this morning already about 15,000 people in Florida without power, and now it's a waiting game, especially in Georgia and the Carolinas. The storm will pass closest to the land in the Carolinas, between South and North Carolina. That's where it could have the strongest impacts, but that's also where it will start to lose a little more steam and could be downgraded to a Category 1 hurricane. Anthony, the biggest thing they're watching here today is the water. A lot of rain expected and about a 2-meter high storm surge, which will come right around the point of high tide this afternoon.
All right, we'll stay on top of the story. Jackson Proskow, of course, stay safe. Thank you so much for this report.